The most powerful person in any interaction is the one who needs it the least. This quote perfectly captures the essence of the Sigma male's approach to attraction. But how exactly does it work? In this video, we're breaking down the psychological principles behind this powerful mindset. You'll learn how Sigma males create attraction by demonstrating high value and independence. It's a subtle art, but once you understand it, you'll see its influence everywhere. The power of emotional unavailability. Imagine a guy who's always just out of reach. He's living his best life, pursuing his passions, and rarely checks his phone. When he does respond, it's brief but intriguing. Why is this so magnetic? It goes against everything we're told about being a good partner, yet it works like a charm. This is the power of emotional unavailability, and it's a key tool in the Sigma male's arsenal of attraction. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't being emotionally unavailable a bad thing? Shouldn't we strive for open communication and constant connection? Well, here's where things get interesting. The human brain is wired to crave what it can't easily have. It's a quirk of our psychology that Sigma males have learned to exploit with precision. Let's break this down. When someone is consistently available, always eager to respond, our brains quickly adapt. It becomes the new normal, and we start taking it for granted. But when attention is scarce and unpredictable, that's when the magic happens. This inconsistent attention triggers a psychological response called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same mechanism that makes gambling so addictive. You never know when you'll hit the jackpot, so you keep pulling the lever, hoping for that rush of excitement. In the context of attraction, this translates to a powerful dopamine loop. Dopamine is often called the feel-good neurotransmitter, but it's more accurately described as the wanting chemical. It drives us to seek out pleasurable experiences and rewards. When a Sigma male is emotionally unavailable, he creates a situation where his attention becomes the reward. Every text, every call, every moment of interaction becomes heightened. The brain starts to associate this person with intense bursts of pleasure. And because these moments are rare and unpredictable, the anticipation builds. Women find themselves constantly checking their phones, wondering when the next interaction will come. But here's the catch, and this is crucial. There's a fine line between creating interest and being completely cold. Sigma males have mastered this delicate balance. They give just enough attention to keep women intrigued, but not enough to satisfy the craving completely. This is where the 99% trick comes into play. It's a technique that's devastatingly effective, yet so simple in concept. The idea is to give 99% of your attention to your own life, your goals, your passions, and just 1% to potential partners. It sounds extreme, but hear me out. By focusing almost entirely on your own life, you become genuinely interesting. You're not just pretending to be busy or unavailable, you actually are. This authenticity is key. Women can sense when someone is playing games, but a truly self-actualized man who's living life on his own terms? That's irresistible. The 1% of attention you do give becomes incredibly potent. Because it's so rare, it's valued much more highly. A single thoughtful text can have more impact than hours of constant communication from someone else. It's quality over quantity, taken to the extreme. This technique taps into deep-seated psychological needs for validation and approval. When someone who's clearly selective with their time and attention chooses to focus on you, even briefly, it feels like a significant achievement. It triggers a rush of feel-good chemicals in the brain, reinforcing the attraction. But let's be clear, this isn't about being cruel or manipulative. It's about understanding the psychology of attraction and aligning your behavior with it. The key is to be genuinely focused on your own growth and happiness, not just pretending to be unavailable. The 99% trick works because it creates a sense of mystery and intrigue. In a world where oversharing is the norm, someone who maintains healthy boundaries becomes fascinating. What are they doing with all that time? What passions are they pursuing? These questions create a cognitive itch that begs to be scratched. Moreover, this approach signals high value. It suggests that you have options, that your time is precious, and that you're not desperately seeking approval. These are all traits that are instinctively attractive from an evolutionary standpoint. How Sigmas keep people guessing and wanting more. Now that we've explored the power of being unavailable, let's dive into something even more intriguing. Have you ever noticed how some people become more attractive the less you understand them? There's a fascinating reason for that, and it's all about creating cognitive dissonance. Sigma males have mastered the art of being a walking contradiction. They'll show extreme confidence one moment, then reveal a carefully chosen vulnerability the next. This isn't just random behavior. It's a calculated strategy to keep potential partners constantly on their toes. Imagine meeting someone who exudes unshakable self-assurance in their career, but then admits to feeling nervous about social situations. Or picture a person who's incredibly charming and outgoing, but occasionally lets slip that they enjoy solitary hobbies. These seemingly contradictory traits create a psychological tension that's hard to ignore. This approach taps into a powerful psychological mechanism. When we encounter someone who doesn't fit neatly into our usual categories, our brains go into overdrive trying to make sense of them. It's like we've been handed a puzzle that we just can't put down. The real magic happens in the space between confidence and vulnerability. By showing both extreme self-assurance and carefully chosen insecurities, Sigma males prevent themselves from becoming predictable. This unpredictability keeps potential partners constantly analyzing and mentally investing in understanding them. But why does this work so well? It all comes down to our natural desire to understand and categorize the people around us. When we can't easily do that, we become more emotionally invested in figuring the person out. This investment creates a sense of attachment, even if there's no established relationship. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself thinking about someone long after an interaction, trying to figure them out? That's cognitive dissonance at work. Your brain is working overtime to resolve the conflicting information it's received. This strategy forces potential partners to invest more mental and emotional energy in trying to understand the individual. Paradoxically, this increased effort actually increases attraction. The more time and energy someone spends thinking about you, the more important you become in their mind. It's worth noting that this isn't about being fake or putting on an act. The most effective use of this technique comes from genuine complexity. Sigma males often have rich inner lives and diverse interests that naturally create this effect. They're not pretending to be contradictory. They're simply comfortable showing different facets of their personality. This approach also keeps interactions fresh and engaging. Just when a potential partner thinks they've got the Sigma male figured out, they'll reveal another surprising aspect of their personality. This constant state of discovery prevents boredom and keeps the attraction alive. However, it's important to recognize that this technique walks a fine line. Used thoughtfully, it can create intrigue and deepen connections. But taken too far, it could lead to confusion or frustration. The key is to balance mystery with enough consistency to allow for genuine connection. From a psychological standpoint, this strategy creates a powerful cycle of anticipation and reward in the brain. The unpredictable nature of these interactions triggers the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. This creates a kind of dopamine loop where the brain craves more interactions to get that hit of excitement and novelty. By mastering this technique, Sigma males can keep potential partners constantly intrigued and coming back for more. It's a powerful tool in their arsenal of attraction, one that goes beyond simple physical appeal or charm. How do Sigmas demonstrate high value without trying? Sigma males have a secret weapon for creating intrigue, demonstrating high value without ever seeming like they're trying to impress. Imagine walking into a room and noticing someone who never brags, yet everyone seems aware of their success. That's the Sigma male approach in action. These men use subtle, nonverbal cues to signal their confidence and status. They maintain strong eye contact, stand tall with relaxed shoulders, and move with purpose. Their body language speaks volumes, projecting self-assurance without a word being spoken. Social proof plays a crucial role in this strategy. When you're genuinely successful and confident, word gets around. People naturally talk about you, and that's far more powerful than any self-promotion. Sigma males don't need to tell you about their accomplishments because others do it for them. Sigma males aren't afraid to respectfully disagree with high-status individuals. When everyone else is nodding along, they're comfortable expressing a different viewpoint. This isn't about being contrary, it's about having the self-assurance to stand by their own thoughts and opinions. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, these behaviors signal genetic fitness and resource acquisition potential. They suggest that this person would be a valuable mate or ally. When a Sigma male can disagree respectfully with those in positions of power, it shows they're secure in their own status. The attention structure concept is key here. Sigma males naturally draw attention through their presence and actions, not by demanding it. They position themselves as quietly influential, earning respect through behavior and accomplishments rather than seeking it outright. Strategic storytelling also comes into play. A Sigma male might casually mention overcoming a challenge, focusing on the lessons learned rather than personal glory. This subtle approach is far more effective than direct boasting. Crucially, all of this stems from genuine confidence and self-assurance, often developed through real-life experiences and pursuing goals. It's not an act or technique, but an authentic way of being that makes their high value apparent to others. What's important to understand is that Sigma males aren't focused on impressing others. Their attention is firmly on their own goals and interests. This genuine self-assurance is incredibly attractive and creates an intriguing dynamic. By not actively trying to impress, Sigma males often end up being more impressive. This approach taps into something primal in our brains. The independence and confidence displayed by Sigma males are strong indicators of high status. They don't need to constantly agree or seek approval, which paradoxically makes others more likely to give it to them. It's a powerful demonstration that actions truly speak louder than words when it comes to showcasing value and creating lasting intrigue. Sigma males have mastered this delicate art of demonstrating high value without coming across as arrogant or desperate for approval. The strategic use of vulnerability. Imagine a typically confident Sigma male suddenly opening up about losing a loved one. This unexpected vulnerability creates an instant, powerful connection. It's a strategic approach that Sigma males use to attract women, revealing carefully chosen personal information at specific moments. This technique taps into deep psychological needs. Dr. Sarah Johnson, a relationship psychologist, explains, controlled vulnerability activates nurturing instincts and creates a sense of exclusive intimacy. It's incredibly compelling for many women. The power lies in the contrast. Like a single red rose in a field of white, these rare moments of openness stand out dramatically against the Sigma male's usual self-sufficiency. It makes women feel special, as if they've been granted access to a hidden side of him. However, there's more to consider. Strategic vulnerability walks a fine line between genuine connection and manipulation. While it can create real moments of understanding, it can also be used to foster a false sense of closeness. For women, these carefully chosen revelations can be intoxicating. The rarity and timing increase their impact, making them feel uniquely connected. But it's crucial to look at the bigger picture. Are these moments balanced with genuine emotional availability? This approach taps into fundamental desires, feeling special, needed, and attracted to complexity. A person who can be both strong and vulnerable is inherently more interesting than someone one-dimensional. Think of it like a magician's act. The Sigma male carefully controls what's revealed and when, creating an illusion of intimacy without necessarily investing in long-term emotional connection. It's not about constant sharing, but strategic moments that leave a lasting impression. The psychological impact on women can be profound. Many perceive this controlled vulnerability as a sophisticated attraction technique. It appeals to their desire for emotional depth while maintaining an air of mystery. Women are particularly attuned to these nuanced emotional displays. The timing and depth of these emotional reveals create a powerful psychological impact. It's not just about what's shared, but how and when it's shared that makes it so effective. However, it's important to be aware of its potential for manipulation. Those carefully chosen moments can make someone feel more connected than the relationship warrants. Women should consider whether these glimpses of vulnerability translate to genuine emotional investment. Ultimately, strategic vulnerability is a powerful tool in the Sigma male's arsenal. It creates intense, controlled bonds that can be deeply attractive. But like any powerful technique, it requires careful consideration of its ethical implications and long-term effects on both parties involved. Is it ethical to use psychological techniques to attract potential partners? As we've explored, Sigma male attraction strategies like emotional unavailability and strategic vulnerability, it's crucial to consider their impact. These methods can be effective, but they raise questions about manipulation in relationships. Understanding these triggers can help you recognize when they're being used. However, healthy relationships are built on genuine connection and respect. Experts emphasize the importance of seeing partners as whole people, not objects to manipulate. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with these strategies. While Sigma techniques might create initial attraction, long-term success requires open communication and emotional honesty from both partners. Remember, the most fulfilling relationships are those where both people feel truly seen and valued for who they are. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And if you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need a different perspective in life. Let's spark a conversation and create a meaningful discussion within our vibrant community. Leave a comment and join in. This is Mind Hierarchy. See you on the other one.